The RCMP Special Technical Analysis Lab in Ottawa has helped in many Canadian cases to break open devices, thwart encryption, cases of national security, kidnapping, drug trafficking, and murder. Now, the RCMP won't talk about how they get past encryption, but there is one possibility. It's a technique called chip-off, where the police actually get their hands on the physical phone. This forensics company gave us a demonstration of how it works. They open up a BlackBerry, heat it up to physically remove internal chips sealed inside. Then using software and a special reader, they try to analyze and unscramble the messages and information.
Good tea. Anyways, thanks you for joining me for another video. Today is going to be mostly about forensics, and I'm going to see if I can make this a two-part series. Because I got a lot of requests on TikTok and on YouTube to talk about more about forensics, so here I am, talking about forensics. So I think the most asked question about this type of field of work is how do you get into it, what's required, software, hardware. So I think in this video I'm going to focus mostly on the certifications that you would need, or certification, and then the software side and what else is required. Now in the second video I'm going to probably go over the hardware. I'm going to mention some hardware in this video, but I think in the second video I'm probably going to demonstrate some of the hardware. I mean, if you follow this channel, you probably have seen me use a bunch of these tools, but yeah, so let's get into it. Now at the beginning of the video you saw a CBC video from 2016. Obviously I look different now. I did lose some weight, clearly, but you can see then our lab was a little bit different. It is totally different now. We'll go over that in the second video, but this is when CBC came to us regarding a chip-off case and decrypting a BlackBerry. Now it is a bit more complicated than what they were showing. They just want to see how chip-off itself is done. I have some knowledge on the decrypting stuff on BlackBerries, but I can't talk about it, unfortunately. That's one thing you're gonna deal with forensics, is you're gonna sign a lot of NDAs, and some things you just can't talk about. So how would you get into forensics? Well, you have two options here. You can go and get your computer science degree, and that pretty much will probably give you the basis to become a forensic investigator. Because what really is computer forensics? So computer forensics is a branch of digital forensic science. So you pretty much you're going to be looking for evidence on digital hardware or on computers, or whatever you're looking at. You're going to be looking at looking for evidence. Now there's procedures you have to follow, and all that is, you know, hashing of the evidence and chain of custody and all that stuff. I might talk about it briefly, but this is probably a more in-depth discussion than this. So where did I get my certification? So I got my certification here from the ISAFCE, which is the International Society of Forensic Computer Examiners. So I have a CCE certification. So my certification covers pretty much broadly computer forensics, because there's people who get like NK certification, or they get some other specific to single tool certification like Celebrite. That gives you just certification to be an expert in that particular tool. But with CCE you pretty much covered everything. Now certifications are not enough. I mean, you can have tons of different certifications, but then you might not have any experience in this stuff. I mean, usually if you're gonna go to court as an expert, which I have done in multiple occasions, the side that hires you, they would prefer someone with more experience than tons of certifications, because you can have so many certifications but you might not be that proficient in what you're doing. So I have a bit of both. I have a lot of certifications plus I have a lot of experience, so I have a mix of both, which is pretty much the best thing to have. Now I've been certified for almost 11 years, and I've been pretty much doing forensic work since then. You know, and you never stop learning, so you always keep going, and you know, you have to be on top of things here, because if you're not, then you're pretty much gonna fall behind very quickly. and that's the biggest drawback. But that goes for any field. You're gonna have to be on top of these things. You have to learn every day. You have to follow the what the trends are. Gotta do a lot of reading, but that's pretty much what you have to do. So let's look at ISSC. So they have a boot camp. I think it's in Georgia. So you can either boot camp in Georgia. Now because of COVID, there is no boot camp. You can do it online. Now to pass CCE, it's rather difficult. You gotta have an average of 80 or 85% to pass. The way it used to be structured, I don't know, it's probably still the same now. So the way it's structured, it's you first you pay after you do your training. Even you don't have to, you can just go straight to it. But I mean, I would suggest you do your training. So you get a written test. That test is like it's just them making sure that you can even do this type of work. So this test is rather difficult. And if you pass that test, then you can go on to getting your first 3 kind of fake cases that you have to investigate, and then you have to write your report. The cases are pretty straightforward. I mean, to me, they are now. When I was doing it, they were like, "Holy crap, what is this?" I mean, but you know, it's not crazy. It's just as long as you know your procedures, you would have no problem passing this test. So they give you, I think, 2 months per case. So you have a floppy case, then you have a CD-ROM case, then you have a hard drive case. It might have changed now. I don't know if it's still the same. I mean, it's been 11 years. It for sure has changed. So, and then once you certify, you have to recertify every 2 years. And it's not as simple as, you know, I just go and pay them to recertify you. You have to either prove you've been working on real cases, and you have to give them the list of cases you've been working on. You have to show them that you've been learning other things. So you have to show them what books you've been reading in the last 2 years and all that stuff. So you do have to prove to the board that you are still doing this, because you can quickly fall behind. So once you are certified, you can start your career pretty much. You can start looking for a job, and I'm sure if you look around for jobs, you'll see a lot of times you do look for CCE certification or CFC. There's a bunch of different ones, but CCE is well known in this field, so that's good. That's why it's good to have. So once you are also, you also have to be notarized and go to your lawyer, and you have to do a background check, all that stuff. That's all you have to do. Let me see if what they have here on the website. So this is you can look at some sample cases they have on the website, and I'm going to link everything below. Everything we'll talk about today, and I'll link it below. So here we go. You can open these cases and you can play around with it, and it's on their website there. Do they still have? Let me see something. They used to have certified individuals you can look up. Oh yeah, there we go. So once you're certified, you will be listed on their website. So let me see if you can find me. My name is not secret. I am a public figure. I'm well known in the forensic field, so obviously I'm not gonna hide my name. So here I am. Here's my name, my email address. My link to the company. So if someone's looking for someone specific in the area, they'll find you through here, and that's what's good about being on this website. So that is ISFCE. They have a lot of information here you can go through yourself. They have a forum. Once you're a member, you have a forum. You can go ask for help. You also become part of their CCE mailing list, which is a private mailing list. It's only computer forensic examiners that are on that list. So you have access to all these people. There are people from government officials in America and all over the world. So it's definitely a great I guess major brain you can access, because if you're stuck on a case, you can really reach out to these people. Okay, moving on. So once you are certified, you either gonna work for a company or you're gonna open your own business. I mean, if you open your own business, you're gonna need a lot of money, because I mean, forensic tools are really expensive. So you are gonna have to buy some of them, and then not only that, you have to pay a yearly fee to use them. Some of them are pretty pricey. So let's start with the first one that I use a lot, and you've seen me use it in some videos. For what you saw me use it for, it's nothing. It's super powerful. It can do a lot. I want to do a deep dive video about Axiom one day. So hopefully that's gonna happen eventually. So anyways, Magnet Axiom, they have many different tools, but the one we use mostly is Axiom. You can acquire cell phones, computers, hard drives, all these things, and you can put them through Axiom and it will find it for you. It's really good with third-party apps, especially on mobile phones. And it's not cheap. It was developed by a former police officer out of Canada. So most jobs require you have knowledge on Axiom. I think you can get a 30-day trial from them, so you can play around with it. The other one that I used to use a lot, and not so much now, is X-Ways. X-Ways is a German product. It's a really good software. You don't have to keep paying a license for it to continue to use it. You can buy it once, but you won't get any updates, and you can still use it. We used to pay for license. I think we haven't paid in the last 3 years, but I still use it occasionally. So X-Way it looks very simple, but it's extremely powerful. There's also Ncase. I don't know. I don't really use Ncase, so I can't really talk about it. I've used it a few times back in the day, but it's been so long that I don't really remember anything of it. And I'm only talking about few tools. I'm not gonna talk about all of them. There's just so many tools. There's the free ones like Autopsy. So if you want to get a free tool to play around with, then Autopsy is the one to get. It can do phones. They had a free training a year ago and free certification because of COVID. So I hope some of you maybe took advantage of that. That was really good to have. They might still have it. I mean, I don't know. But Autopsy is really good and it's completely free. Moving on. So probably you should do more than just computers. Phones are becoming the weapon of choice for a lot of people. So phones are definitely what we get most of. We used to get a lot of computers. Now it's kind of moved over to phones. So phones, you have few options. I'm only going to talk about the ones I've used and the ones I use now. So the one I use right now is Celebrite, but we'll get to that after. So Oxygen is pretty well known. We had a few trials of Oxygen to test it out. We're still on the fence whether we want to buy it or not, so we're holding off for now. But it's pretty good. They keep adding new features. It's really good at the reports. I know people that use it and they really like the way the reports are created and structured. Very simple to follow. Another one, this is the biggest player out there, is Celebrite. And now Celebrite actually has a lot of more companies underneath now. They have Macquisition, they have a few other ones which I'll talk about in a minute, but Celebrite itself, you've seen me use on this channel many times, and that is the tool that we use all the time. That was like the best purchase we did. It's not cheap, but it's gonna be the best purchase you're gonna make for your company, or if you're gonna work in a company, you're gonna enjoy working with Celebrite because you can break into phones, you can extract a lot of data. So Celebrite is great. Now I've been using, when I get a phone in, when a phone comes in here, the first thing I do is I do my Celebrite dump, then I put it through Axiom sometimes, and just to have two forms of, they can validate two different extractions. Sometimes I'm using the third tool if I need to, but overall Celebrite is a great tool for cell phones. There's another one called XRY from MSAB. We had that for 2 years. I personally weren't happy with it. Once they did an update from version 6 to 7, I think, I absolutely hated the UI. It wasn't intuitive to use. It was hard to use. So we just stopped paying for the updates, and I still have it here, but I don't use it. So yeah, I mentioned Macquisition. So Celebrite, this is all the tools they have. They have the digital collector. These are former tools that used to be called something else. It's just they renamed them now. They have a lot of different tools. Now I don't use any of the other ones. All I have is Macquisition and Celebrite itself. But that's enough for this company. For what we do, this is more than enough. Now, moving away from software, and I'm just gonna briefly talk about the hardware. So you're also gonna need a write blocker. That is a must. A write blocker is a must. Here's a Gardonics. I had a video on Gardonics. This prevents, so if you plug in a hard drive for imaging, this prevents your computer to writing back to the drive, because if you're handling evidence, you really shouldn't be writing back to it, because you have to take an image, you gotta take hash values, and I had videos on forensic imaging already, so you can You can watch it there. I'm going to link it above. Is it here? Yeah, on this side. So you can watch how forensic imaging works. I made the video a few months ago, so that's a video you should watch. So Addonix, there's also Tableau, and there's a few other different tools. But you know, we have DeepSpar Imager, plus we have Addonix, so we use that. So now here's some pitfalls about forensic work. So you are gonna be given material to look that could be very explicit. So this type of work is not for everyone. And by explicit, you should use your imagination. I'm gonna mention what it is. It's one of the worst form of things you can find online. So I had to deal with this multiple times. You know, it could really be hard on you because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like in law enforcement, police has support. They can take time off to debrief from these kind of things that they see. I can't. I mean, it's only two of us in this company, so really, it's you know, if I feel that one day what I see all the time is going to impact me negatively mentally, I might have to seek professional, someone to talk to. But so far I've been okay. You cannot dissociate yourself from what you're seeing. You know you're doing work to help put someone in jail or maybe exonerate someone. So you kind of have to put aside this and just focus on your work. So there's ways not to see this kind of material. There's you can look at hashes and just compare hashes to a known database, and then you don't have to see it. But you're gonna have to view some of that stuff, and it's obviously not easy for people to look at, me included. You're also gonna sign a lot of NDAs, so you will not be gonna be able to discuss a lot of things you do. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement that you'll be forced to sign by a client, because you might be working on a high-profile cases that are in the news. So obviously you are trusted with this information, so you obviously can't be discussing with other people. But yeah, that pretty much covers introduction to forensic, what you need. I probably forgot a few things. I tried to keep notes of what I'm going to talk about, but I might have forgot something. I don't know. But if I did, I'm going to maybe mention in the next video, which will be next week, and that's going to be more on the lab side of forensics. So this was just the beginning. But yeah, I'm going to have to clean up the lab because I'm sure it's a mess back there. Well, it's a working lab, so obviously it's a mess. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna have more videos coming up soon on this topic, because I seem to be a lot of people seem to like forensics. But I also gonna have some other videos and some Flash coming up and a few other things. You know, it will really help if you subscribe, like, and share this video. It really helps the algorithm. This channel has been picking up a lot of subscribers. I mean, it's only at 4,000 something right now, but hey, it's better than 0. So I guess I'm doing something right. So I'll see you in the next video next week. More forensic work.